Hi, I'm Nate Lashley. You're watching Breaking Par.
Hi, I'm Colton Ost.
Hey guys, I'm Kevin Streelman.
I'm J.R. Smith.
Hey, I'm Tanya Chade.
Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm Reggie Bush.
Hey, what's good? It's your boy, the coach. And of course, you know.
I'm Cameron Champ, and you're watching Breaking Par.
Breaking Par.
Breaking Par.
You're watching Breaking Par.
You're watching Breaking Par.
Breaking Par.
And you're watching Breaking Par.
Breaking Par. Let's go! It's Breaking Par.
What's up, my name is Joel Damon, and you're watching Breaking Par.
What have you been doing in the quote-unquote off-season?
Try to wait till 5 o'clock to have a drink.
What the heck is going on out here?
March 20th, 2020 was historical because COVID-19 shut down the PGA Tour. June 2020 is historical because the PGA Tour returns. But golf never left. Smaller, mini-tour events like those on the Outlaw Tour, Cactus Tour, and the Scottsdale Open have found new names for themselves inside the COVID-19 pandemic. With hungry gambling degenerates needing something to play and PGA Tour players needing a place to play, the market always finds a way to deliver. It's not often you can sneak out to Arizona's Talking Stick golf course in May and see the likes of
Joel Damon,
Colton Ost.
Nate Lashley.
Streels, fancy seeing you out here at Talking Stick in May.
Right.
What are you doing out here?
Well, obviously with our quarantine, our change of spring plans.
What quarantine? Yep.
Yep. The Scottsdale Open here at Talking Stick has popped up on the radar. I'm buddies with Ryan Prey. He used to run the Gateway Tour back 16, 17 years ago. I used to play on that.
We started this event 4 years ago to just help some aspiring players who were looking, to try and make their way onto the PGA Tour. And we're paying out a guaranteed purse of $130,000, $20,000 going to first place. This year, I got a call from Streelman, and then Kirk Triplett called me, and then Joel Damon called me, and they're like, hey, we're starting up in about a month, and it's a couple weeks after the Scottsdale AZ Open. Are you allowing tour guys to play? And I said, well, absolutely. I go, the other players that are playing in the tournament, are aspiring PGA Tour professionals. So, they're getting a great opportunity to be able to play against some of the best in the world.
So is this kind of about getting some competition under your belt?
It is. I look at it like if this preparation saves me one shot at Colonial, like maybe the first tee shot where I'm a little nervous and hit a bad one, where now I step up and pipe one,
cool is
that could all be worth it.
Having this tournament, so it's something you come out and play in, get some competitive rounds in, and rather than practicing or just going out and hitting balls around. It's been nice to come out and play.
Well, I guess if anything, this is a little practice for playing golf with no fans.
Yeah, yeah, this is pretty much what our first 4 events will be like.
Ironically, even though fans weren't allowed to attend this year's event, it had more eyeballs than ever before. With a lack of sports to wager on around the world, Vegas opened lines on the Scottsdale Open.
A lot of buddies were calling me this week wondering, who I thought my favorites were. So I kind of stayed hush-hush on that. I didn't know if I could get in any trouble or anything.
What's it been like kind of being the guy walking around here with the big...
It is really weird. It is weird. I'm not normally that guy. I don't still have the big, but it's weird. It's a betting favorite coming in. I've never been in that position, obviously.
6-1 going in.
Yeah,
right?
which I said was way too high. I mean, if Streelman's 12-1, I probably should have been around that mark a little bit.
So I saw some sports books place odds on this tournament, and they put me at 100-1 to win, which I was felt a little slap in the face, to be honest. I know I haven't played my best golf over the last couple of years, but I've still competed at a high level. And my buddy sent it to me one day, and I was kind of scrolling down. I kept scrolling, and I'm like, Jesus, where the hell am I? And then I get there at 100-1. I just laughed. I'm like, if you guys don't bet this, y'all are crazy.
Yeah,
I mean, I might not win, but at 100-1, I think it's worth the risk.
There's value there.
Big value.
You have any degenerate buddies back home putting some money on you this week?
I don't know. They don't tell me, but I definitely have a lot of degenerate buddies, that's for sure. Yeah.
While gambling on a mini-tour event might not be the safest bet, safety for the players was top of mind. Single rider carts, hand sanitizer everywhere, and the best part, individual rakes.
What's it like rolling around with your own rake?
It's weird.
Rolling around with your own rake, what's that like?
You walk up to the bunkers, you forget about it, you got to go back to the cart, get the rake, then you forget the rake again, you got to go back and get it on the next hole.
What's it like rolling around with your own rake?
We named them all. We had Richard the rake out there. We had Steve, was pretty common. I named mine George today. I had to use him once today, actually. It was the only time I had to use him, but he's been a nice companion in the golf cart.
Let's talk about the only time you had to use it today. Hole 6.
Yes.
An amazing up and down. Man, I feel so ESPN right now.
You're doing great.
Hole 6.
Yeah, I actually hit. It's one of the harder par 3s out here, but the greens are firm, so you have to play the front edge. But I hit a great shot, and I looked up, and it was going at the bunker, so I must have aimed wrong there. But It was a slippery up and down. I had a good shot to about 8 feet and then made the putt. So that was a big save because I was playing well. I didn't want to make a bogey in the middle of the round to kind of ruin things coming in.
Well, you can see hole 6 from right here by the clubhouse at Talking Stick, and me and my other 2 guys on crew were sweating that up and down because, sir, we did bet on you today, but we don't know because they're not doing live score, but every 9 holes.
Right.
So tell us right now, did we win? We took you to beat your 2 playing partners in today's round. What'd you shoot? What'd they shoot?
I had a 63 today. Nate struggled to a 71, and Nick Mason shot 67 or 68. So I nipped him by 4 or 5 at least.
That's a W for the Breaking Par crew.
That is a W, and it's probably worth a beer, isn't it?
Yeah, that's worth a beer.
I like
that's worth
that.
a beer. Thanks for giving us some golf action here in the middle of this pandemic. Thanks for giving us the time for the interview, and
Absolutely.
kick ass the rest of the season,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, thank you. Appreciate it, guys.
All right, buddy.
Coming up.
The Canyon Golf Course has been the #1 course in the state of Arizona, and you're on the #1 hole on the #1 course. What you see out there is the largest stand of ponderosa pines anywhere in the United States.
That's straight ahead on Breaking Par. This portion of Breaking Par provided by... When most people think Arizona golf, they think Sonoran desert courses with saguaro cactus-lined fairways. But the fact is, Arizona is one of the most geographically diverse states in North America. One of our favorite parts of State 48 is Arizona's high country. Did you know Arizona owns the largest stand of ponderosa pines anywhere in the United States? With summer temps on the rise, we're raising our elevation and playing some golf with the locals in this month's signature hole. This is Canyon number 9 at Forest Highlands.
As I often tell people, the prettiest hole in golf, in my opinion, is the second shot at number 8 at Pebble Beach. With the exception of that, there's no prettier place than number 9 at the Canyon at Forest Highlands. For over 20 years, the Canyon Golf Course has been the #1 course in the state of Arizona, and you're on the #1 hole on the #1 course. What you see out there is the largest stand of ponderosa pines anywhere in the United States. It's just picturesque and it's beautiful. It's a 440-yard par 4 downhill. If you look out there, you're gonna have to navigate your way over a giant tree in the middle, so you better hit it high, and you better hit it straight. If you go left, you're in the bunker. If you hit it to the right, you're up in the mountain. You have no chance to make par. If by chance you hit the fairway, then you've got a roughly 180-yard shot to an uphill green that's very narrow, surrounded in the front by water and a large 12-foot stone wall. If you go long, you're in a bunker. If you go to the right, you're in a bunker. If somebody said, Jack, you could play the Canyon the rest of your life, you can sit up here with a cigar and a scotch and look at it, and we'll give you a bogey every time you play the hole, count me in. I'm a 6 handicap, and I would take a bogey on this hole every day of the week, every time. And to think you guys are gonna play this hole and birdie it, good luck. You better have some TV magic, baby. Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
Jock was kind enough to play a little best ball with us on number 9.
We supposed to be talking while we're doing this?
Why not? All right, Captain.
I'm so stiff, man, I can't even get down to it.
There it is. There it is. Good ball. Good ball. All right.
So nervous right now.
No pressure. Jock hooked us up.
Nice ball.
There it is.
Nice shot.
Gentlemen, do I even need to hit? Do I even need to hit?
And rub the sloth's head.
Oh, okay.
Rub the sloth's head. Come on, sloth. Be lucky for him. Oh, there you go. Nice ball. Atta boy. Nice
Sloth.
shot.
There you go. Sloth.
That's the sloth. Nice shot.
All right, boys.
I'm sloth. This next shot, there's a technical term for it, and it's an SOB. We're hitting to a narrow green. If you miss it at all to the right, you can't clear the water. You'll be in the water.
Whew, okay.
If you hit it to the left, you're dead.
This is going to be a fun one. Let's let the boss go first.
Cool.
Oh, yeah.
Be right.
Go in the hole.
Ooh! Ooh!
We're here playing a scramble with Jock, but it's kind of like we just needed to come down and just watch him play the hole.
Do we need to hit?
Come on, Win.
Well, here's what I think is cool, Jock. You've got one tight. We need to showcase the water. So let's see if we can put one in the lake.
Good.
Find the water.
It will.
All right. Get a crew out here for this. Jock, great shot in here, buddy.
Thank you.
We've got to look at it.
Downhill, a little faster than it looks.
Okay.
Go ball. Go ball. Speed.
That's good. I like that. Starting to look like a par, boys.
Better speed, better speed, better speed. Oh! Come on, Ryan. Get it to the hole.
Never leave a birdie putt short.
Got it.
Jock, we got the par.
Ryan, it was great playing with you. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you enjoyed number 9 at the Canyon.
Absolutely.
Take the time to look back and think, life's not too damn bad, is it?
It's not.
Well said.
sir.
Welcome to
Pleasure.
Forest Highlands, buddy.
Thanks, Jock.
Coming up.
Let's remember Tiger's Rock at the TPC Scottsdale. That was a loose impediment, though it took about 20 people to move it. Even that big Tiger Rock is a loose impediment.
That's straight ahead on Breaking Par.
Now, here are some tips for breaking par.
Hey guys, Streels here. I'm at Cool Clubs. Ran into the Breaking Par guys. I thought I'd do a quick little tip while we're all stuck inside. Let's talk about putting. So I know we don't all have these nice putting greens at home with the holes and everything, but I bet we do have a flat surface, a carpet, maybe some hardwood, something with like a T-line, something. I wanted to show you guys a little drill, something that we could really work on to get better at in this time where we're stuck at home on our putting. So let's talk about what putting is, right? It's speed and line. And I think what we need to get great at is hitting straight putts with great rolls, all right? I've got this ball here with 3 lines on top of it. I've lined it up and aim it at something in your house. Maybe it's a door frame, maybe it's a shoe, maybe it's a beer, who knows? But aim it at something and just work on rolling these lines end over end. Rolling a ball end over end with your putter, you can be a great putter. All putting is moving that straight point, that aim point around. So if it's a left edge putt, let's hit a great straight putt at the left edge. If it's a ball out right, let's hit a great putt at a ball out right. I think so many people, think it's right to left and they push it out to the break. Or if it's left to right, they throw the face and pull it left out to the break. Let's get great at picking a straight point and hitting a great straight roll at that point and then let the break move it into the hole. If we can do this in our off time, I think it'll really help your putting.
It's the Arizona Golf Association Rule of the Month, brought to you by the PGA Tour Superstore.
Guys, whenever it's time to talk rules, there's none better than longtime USGA rules official and Arizona Golf Association Executive Director, Ed Gowan.
It's time for another Rule of the Month. Today we're going to talk about Rule 15, relief from loose impediments and movable obstructions. What is a loose impediment? It is a natural object, not fixed or growing, not adhering to the ball, not solidly embedded. That could be a leaf, a fallen tree that's detached, stone, tree branch, a big rock.
Speaking of rocks that masquerade as loose impediments, there's a famous one that has its own plaque.
Let's remember Tiger's Rock at the TPC Scottsdale. That was a natural object. That was a loose impediment, though it took about 20 people to move it.
When moving a loose impediment, you can't request a shovel and you can't be holding up play.
If you can roll it away and you're not delaying play, even that big Tiger Rock is a loose impediment because it was not solidly embedded.
Where loose impediments are natural objects, movable obstructions are artificial.
A piece of paper, a glass, a cup, anything artificial is an obstruction. If it's easily movable, it's a movable obstruction. Simple definition.
It's important to know the difference between loose impediments and movable obstructions because what you do next can affect your score.
A loose impediment anywhere on the golf course can be moved as long as you don't move the ball. The one exception to that is on the putting green. If you move a loose impediment and your ball moves, there's no penalty. Elsewhere on the golf course, if you move a loose impediment and your ball moves, there's a one-stroke penalty. It's different with movable obstructions. An obstruction that's movable anywhere on the course can be moved, and if the ball moves, you simply replace the ball, no penalty.
Let's look at some examples. When it comes to loose impediments, let's say you hit your ball into the desert and it comes to rest up against a broken piece of cactus.
You move that piece of cactus and your ball moves. Okay, you've moved your ball in play, you must replace it with a one-stroke penalty. If you move that piece of cactus and the ball doesn't move, there's no problem.
Fair enough. Now let's look at a movable obstruction example.
When there's a movable obstruction involved with the ball, if the ball is on the movable obstruction and doesn't touch the golf course, you're going to be dropping to establish a position in the golf course. On the other hand, if the ball is touching the ground and you move the movable obstruction like a rake in a bunker and the ball moves, you simply put it back. If the ball is not touching the ground, then you have to create a place on the ground by dropping. Let's say your ball's on a magazine in the middle of the fairway. Now you can certainly play the ball as it lies, or you can move the magazine. So you lift the ball, remove the magazine, your reference point is right under where the ball lay. You now have a 1 club length half circle in which to drop the ball to get it back into play.
So there you go. Movable obstructions and loose impediments can be moved on the golf course. Just remember, if you're messing with a loose impediment and the ball moves, you get penalized. If the ball moves while tinkering with a movable obstruction, no penalty, just replace it.
Enjoy the rules, use them to your advantage.
This has been your Arizona Golf Association Rule of the Month, brought to you by the PGA Tour Superstore. Coming up.
So Michael, what's more valuable, this or you?
Well, Pro V1 is an outstanding golf ball and the performance is unmatched. They spin less on high-speed impacts.
That's straight ahead on Breaking Par. As the current pinnacle in golf ball technology, the Titleist Pro V1 is the top choice for pros and amateurs alike. Extraordinary distance, consistent ball flight might save you a few strokes in your next round of golf, but at almost $5 a ball, playing the best of the best isn't necessarily cheap. A couple dozen of these bad boys will set you back over $100. So what's the smart play? Risking the cost of a good beer on every swing, or investing in something a little more sustainable for your golf game? There's nothing more sustainable than a golf lesson. Prices vary from place to place, but a 1-hour lesson at our favorite club, the Phoenician, is only a few bucks more than a couple dozen Pro Vs. Michael LaManna is a Golf Digest top teacher and has been the director of instruction at the Phoenician Golf Club for over 14 years.
So Michael, what's more valuable, this or you?
Well, Pro V1 is an outstanding golf ball and the performance is unmatched. They spin less on high-speed impacts, so you can hit your driver farther, and they spin more on low-speed impacts, like a wedge. But the fact is, if your golf ball's lost in the desert or underwater, it really doesn't do you much good. You probably should have a little bit of professional advice.
Well, my goal is to drop a couple strokes on my next round of golf and not by buying 2 boxes of Pro V1s.
Okay.
Can you help me?
Pencil with an eraser?
Ooh,
No,
okay, all right.
You know, I can probably fix most players before they ever move their club. Make sure the face is nice and square, and make sure this V angles more to the right side of your body than the left. Now, I want you to take a look at this.
Okay, you didn't tell me you were putting me side by side with Jordan Spieth.
You guys have the same body type, and your swings are so similar.
Well, I mean, that is true.
Maybe a little fade isn't necessarily a bad thing. Look at that. If I were you, I'd go find a tournament and go play.
I think I will. I think I will.
I think they're still going to have the US Open.
I like this guy. And we haven't even been here an hour.
Sadly, only 10% of the golf population actually takes golf lessons. I think if you have just a little bit of professional advice, I think that goes a long way towards being a more consistent player. Like I said, at the end of the day, you got to be able to find it off the tee and after a shot.
Sure.
That's not the equipment, that's more the operator.
Everybody out there, you're gonna find someone that can give you a lesson. Rates are gonna vary from where you're at. Michael's super affordable out here at the Phoenician at $135. I think I've been here for probably about $65 of that $135 in the amount of time that we've been here. Way cheaper than a couple boxes of Pro V1s.
Well, you won't need to buy as many now.
So a couple dozen Pro V1s or a golf lesson? I think the golf lesson is the smart play. Let's check out some content from our fans. It's the Social Media Spotlight.
looking at choking me.
I don't know if you know yet. I've tried some time, and I'm dying to tell you. You blow my mind. I don't know if you know yet. No, I've realized, and I'm dying to tell you. You blow my mind. I don't know if you know yet. No, I've realized.
Unreal. Wild man. Hey, yo, looking for his ball.
Think one of your videos should be on the social media spotlight? Just hit us up at Breaking Par TV on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or YouTube, and you may see yourself on the next episode of Breaking Par.